It's waiting for you.
Should be started. It should be started.
Oh, yeah, I think it just did.
Okay, guys. Know I have two microphones out, but I'd have an issue with one of my cables, so we're down to one microphone even though there's two out. This is our Jet JS-500. That is the guitar we're giving away this month. And we've yet to do a proper review on this guitar. Now I want to qualify something. If we find something wrong with the guitar, of course, whoever the winner is, I'm going to correct whatever issues that we find during this review. Also, if you win the guitar, if you give me a roundabout idea of what kind of setup you like neck relief and your average action height, I'm going to set the guitar up for you, if that makes sense. So, like I said, this is a JS-500. It has a three-way switch, volume, tone, Wilkinson bridge, and factory locking keys. Roasted maple neck, and a very nice super strat style body. That's just the general. Now let's kind of look at the guitar and give it a once over. If you know the channel, you know that we do pretty detailed reviews here. And tonight's demo may not be as good as normal. If you're familiar with the channel, you know I hurt my finger about, well, the last part of last week. And I was able to play when I first injured it, but now that it's starting to scab over and heal, it is very sore to bend it. That's why I was misfretting at the beginning of the demo. But I'm a professional, so I will try to do the best I can to demo this guitar. So before anyone says anything, no, I have not gotten a proper bench yet. You know, part of the allure of this channel is its simplicity. We have three basic cameras that we use when we do reviews. It's not, you know, awesome quality video. It's not awesome quality audio. But the context of what I try to do here, I try to bring my A game there. And as the longer we're on YouTube, the better everything else will be. So first, I really want to bring up the finish on this guitar. The only way I can qualify the finish that's on the guitar, the only guitar I've ever felt like this is my Schecter. And when I first brought the Schecter in, I made a comment that I was not familiar with that finish. And I have done some research on this finish. It's two possibilities. This is either a 2K polyurethane finish with a hardener, or it's a UV coating where they use UV light to cure it. I have no way of testing it, and Jet really doesn't specify what the finish is. But imagine something that has been prep sanded for a finish and it gets that really silk smooth finish, but you get the scratches. It feels like that without the scratches. Whenever you spray a finish, it always has some type of orange peel or texture to it. There is zero texture to this finish. That's I've been thinking about how to describe it. There is zero texture. It just feels like a piece of glass. It is slick. I am so impressed with the finish of the Schecter, okay? And to see a finish like that on a $550 guitar, now that was the matte price. Guess what, guys? New matte price. Looked at it today, this guitar is now $599. So, yeah, it went up in price again. Everyone is raising their prices. I've noticed a huge difference in pricing over the last 8 months. Hopefully, if you look around, you can still find this guitar at the $550 mark. And I did see it for $499 about a month ago. So at that price point, give or take $100, to have a finish like this, that's quite impressive. So I want to look at the round over on the guitar, and it's pretty much non-existent. So I'm going to check my 1/8 inch. So it's a 1/16 of an inch round over. And it's actually a little loose on the 1/16 of an inch round over. So all they've done is broken this edge, okay? And I call this like a slab body. There's no arch top to it. It's completely flat other than this arm carve. And they've put this broken edge all the way around it. Right here, if I take my gauge, I can see it in the light. Yeah, see right there, it is a 1/16 at the arm carve. And right here, it's under a 1/16. So it does change a little bit right here. But the edge is just broken all the way around. Now, feeling that edge and looking for sanding variations, well, I just pointed one out. This edge here is a little sharper, and it does get a little bit more of a round over here where the edge goes to about a 1/16. And then it's going back to the sharper edge here. Looking at the back side of the guitar. Now this is funny because on the back side of the guitar, it's exactly 3/8 of an inch round over on the back. Check this over here. Yeah, it's 3/8 on the back. We do have a belly carve, and we have a really nice cutout right here for easy access. And they have not tapered this in. If you notice, this is a slab cut right here, but this is a really large round over with a 3/8 inch round over like that. So doing the handshake, it's pretty comfy. I mean, I can definitely feel that they did not angle that part of the body where the neck connects in. So it is a little chunky there. And feeling for butt dive, when I've just got my hand like this, you can see that it does want to dive when I try to do the handshake. So it is a little butt heavy with this being the center when you're holding it. With a strap, it's not. It doesn't go one way or the other with the strap. So on the back of the guitar we have 4 ferrules, and all the screws are inset into the body with the ferrules. So the ferrule is flush. So I'm checking the ferrules to the body. This one's inset about a 32nd. Flush, flush, and flush. And then the screws are inset into the ferrule about a 1/16. Our cover plate here for the electronics. You can hear, so here and here there's a little bounce. And there's 4 screws in it. Looking at the route to the cover, it's well cut. How it fits in, all the way around, the cover plate is inset in the body about a 32nd of an inch. but it is consistent all the way around. I don't mind that as long as it's consistent. That means this rabbet that this thing is setting on is machined properly. Our tremolo cover, 6 screws. There is no deflection on that, and it is quite thick, 3/32 of an inch. And you can see we do have a hole right here, so you can get in to replace the screws. I mean, not the screws, the strings. So you don't have to take this off to get in there and replace the strings. I bring that up because we're doing a Firefly review right now that we just sent out, and the cover plate was not machined. So you could get in there to get the ball ends out. So you had to remove this whole cover to do the strings. They have thought and routed that out so the string balls and the string will pull through the backside of the tremolo. I know that doesn't sound like much, but when you go to put strings on your guitar and you got to remove the cover plate just to put strings on it, it's kind of a pain in the you-know-what. Okay, looking at the upside route for our pickups. Now this route is very sharp. Okay, they have not broken the edge inside the route for the pickups. I'm looking for a CNC error where the tool come out of the wood for the extraction. And I'm not seeing one, so that means when it was done with the route, the tool come off the route and then extract it up. It's nicely done. And you'll also notice that we have the right proper route. So if you did want to change the pickups in the future, you don't have to modify your pickups. So the routing is done for standard pickups. Checking the deflection in the pickups and how much they rock. You can see that they do rock, but when I push on it, they return to 0. This one does seem to set just a little askew that way. Looking at our route for our neck. Now the fingerboard goes over the back side of the neck right here. You can see that. But I'm looking at the body route to the neck. That is really nicely done. I'm looking at this gap right here. Okay, if you got a poorly routed guitar, the strings need to follow the neck. So looking down the strings to make sure they're even on the neck, and they are. So sometimes the neck will sit this way or this way. Okay, it'll leave a gap here and it's tight here. This is even. So the neck is straight into the body and the strings are straight to the neck. So that means our holes here for our tremolo, it's properly bored for this neck pocket. And they didn't need to swing the neck out to get string alignment. It's nicely done. Back here, looking at how it sits in, I'm not seeing a gap. So if there is a shim in this pocket, it's going to be a really small shim. Looking at the string to body, there is just a little bit of negative angle, negative rake to the neck. It's not much, but it does have a little negative rake. So the distance from the body to the bottom of the string here is less than it is from here to here. Now we do have a Wilkinson non-locking tremolo, and it's a 2-post. And I do feel the screws. It would not pass the sock test. And it's on the B and the high E and the A string and the low E. So it would definitely snag. Playing it, I do feel it. It is scratchy. And it's the set screws for the saddles. So there's 2 ways of fixing that. you can add more shim to the neck, put more negative rake in it, and that will force you to increase the height of the saddle, or you can replace these screws with shorter screws so that doesn't scratch your hand. But the screws right now are sticking out. Feeling the bridge, it has a nice easy feel to it. And I've been playing this guitar. It holds tune incredibly well for a non-locking bridge. It is a push-in bar. And right here, underneath the bridge, inside the plate, there's a set screw. And that set screw will change how this engages, how tight the bar is. It goes in and out really easy, and I haven't had a problem with it falling out like the Fender and my Yamaha bridge that's made by Wilkinson. The Yamaha is made by Wilkinson. That one falls out. This one, when you turn it upside down, it stays in place. But my Pacifica does not. So I haven't looked at the Pacifica to see if there's a set screw back here. So if you pull the bar right there, you'll see the little set screw right underneath the plate. Is that the best spot for it? Probably not. It's kind of hard to get in there to get to it, but it is in there. The only other way of doing it would be put the housing here with the set screw on top. But Wilkinson decided to put it in the block. So if you're having that issue, double check the back side of the block. Going down our neck, feeling our frets. The frets on the guitar are awesome. Would it pass the sock test? I don't think it would snag. It may scratch, but it's definitely above average, okay? It's an above average fret dressing. I would say for any guitar, $1,200 and under, this is an above average fret dressing. They're done very well. It is a cheap standard dressing, so it's a little cheaper to do this. It's not a double chamfered fret, but they have done it really well. When I look at it in the light, I can see a half moon on every fret. So it's done well, but it is a basic dressing to save money. This is a semi-budget instrument. Well, 600 bucks, I guess that is getting out of the budget realm. But like I said, the frets on the guitar are equivalent to a $1,200 guitar. It's well done. We do have black dots on the face, and the camera doesn't pick it up, but the maple on the neck is very pretty. It almost looks like a bird's eye, but it's not. It's got a lot of detail, like little check lines, and it is completely smooth. So there is a finish on the top of this maple. It's very nice. Feeling the back of the neck, I can feel the grain, but the neck is extremely smooth and it's consistent. I'm not feeling anything where it's rough and then smooth in a spot. It's extremely consistent, even in these little spots right here and right here. The worst spot on the neck is right here, and it's not that it's not smooth, okay? They've rounded this really well right here, but right on this corner, they've just broken that edge right here. And they've rounded this one on the top a lot, and it's only about a 1/16 of an inch of that neck sticking out that has the hard chamfer. Is that a problem? No, they did that for a reason, because they didn't want this rounded edge to come back. But I think they could have dressed that just a little bit more. Like I said, it's not that it's, raw finished. It's just a very sharp edge. They didn't break this corner right here enough, in my opinion. And there's just a little bit right there. I'm just really picky. Looking at the logo up here, I can feel the logo. So it is a very thin coating, clear coat. And our truss rod hole, there is no accent wood around it. They've just bored the hole, but it's well done. If I look in here, I don't see any hair or wood fibers. It's been sanded out really well, and the finish inside this bore looks nice. The tuning keys. I've made a comment before on this. I think it's the weak link on this guitar. I have not tried to loosen these screws, but they're very tight. They feel tight. When you turn them, they just feel tight. The low E will actually jump because you're putting so much pressure on it because it doesn't want to turn, and then it'll just kind of turn. And I've been told if you loosen these, it'll free that up. I have not done that. This is out of the box how these feel. The low E and A is the worst, and the high E and B is the best. The two center ones, yeah, they're... I think the tuning keys are, without playing with the screws, I think the tuning keys need some work. They are jet branded locking tuning keys. We have one string tree, and then our plastic nut. Pretty sure that this is an artificial material, it's not bone. And feeling the nut to the neck. It's sanded even with the neck. The cut on the nut. The G is the only one that I see that could come down a little bit, and that's dependent on the first fretted note, but there is a little bit more play on the G. But I know the nut is cut well because I use the bar and it does not hang up. The strings move freely over the nut. Feeling our controls. I think I made this comment before. I like the feel of these controls. They're not friction free. They have body to them. When I turn it, it feels like quality. The knobs themselves are metal, and the knurling on the knobs from the machine place, it's done well. I can feel the knurling. It's not sharp, but I can feel the knurling on the knobs, and the knurling and the way the knob feels, it feels like quality when I turn the knob. Our switch, it's a three-way switch. And it has a positive engagement in all three positions. Side-to-side deflection. There is some side-to-side play. The switch is moving about 1/16 of an inch back and forth. But it has a nice, smooth, firm feel. I like the way it feels. The screws on the switch. Nothing sharp. This screw here looks like it's been overly polished, so I can actually see some silver on it. And I actually see a little silver on this screw as well. This one looks like someone just sat there and rubbed it. Just pointing it out. The only other thing I can think of is we do have placement dots on the top. And since this is a roasted neck, you can see where they filled the tang slots for the frets. But I do not feel them. It's sanded well. All in all, the fit and finish on this guitar is great. It's a sharp looking guitar. I love the matte finish, and just in the time that I've been playing it, it is developing a little bit of a shine spot right here. And from what I've heard on the matte finishes, that's pretty common because that's where you put your arm, and it's polishing that mat. Can you really see it? Only in certain lights, just from me playing it right here and right here. So keep that in mind with the matte finishes like this. They will get shiny spots, especially black. Black will show it a lot. Okay, let's move on and get some pickup readings, because everybody wants to know more about these pickups. So we're on 20 k-ohm. Our volume's all the way up and our tone's all the way up. So in our bridge position, we're reading 7.80. In the center position, we're reading 3.70. And our neck position is reading 6.95. We're going to check our inductance or our henries. In the bridge position, it's 3.86. Center position is 1.87. And our neck position is 3.36 henries. So before anyone says anything, are they high output? No. According to the meter, it's only a little under 8K. A little under 9K, sorry, on the bridge. But the pickups have a good sound. They break up well. I think a lot of people look for 16, 17, 18 on that ohm reading. Sometimes I think we can be misled by that. You know, a PAF sounds awesome, and they're low output as far as what the meter reads. These pickups sound good, and if you look at the Henry rating to the K rating, it's below 50%. That usually means, that you have some copper on the winding. They're not just using a really aggressive magnet and cheaping out on the copper. So below 50%, it's probably at about 40%, 35 to 40%. So I like a third. A third seems to be, for me, my sweet spot, Henry's versus K. So that should give you an idea on the pickups. I have not even looked at the website to see what the neck is, but I do have my 14-inch radius gauge here. We're going to check the neck with a 14. And it's touching in the center, and it is loose on either end. So it's not a 14. Let's try a 12. Again, it's touching in the center, and there's a gap on the ends, so it is not a 12. So let me find my 10 or my 9.5. It does not feel like it's... There's a 9.5. Let's check the 10 first. Here's my 10. The 10 is pretty close. Let's check it with a 9.5. I'm going to say it's a 9.5, guys. And it is not compound. 9.5 works the best. That's very surprising. I was thinking it was about a 12. The guitar bends and plays effortlessly, so that's another thing. The more radius you put in a neck, the harder it becomes to set up that instrument. 7.5's the hardest guitar to do a proper setup on. This guitar plays really well. 9.5 radius, that means the setup from the factory's got to go that extra mile so it doesn't fret out when you bend the notes. That's highly impressive. So let's look at our action height. So this is our imperial gauge. We're going to start in imperial for those imperial guys. So on the 12th, I can see the line under the low E at 0.050. So I'm going to say it's probably like 0.051 or 0.052. On the high E, the line is directly on the string at 0.050. So the action on this guitar is quite low. And for you metric guys, you guys can cross-reference how well I can read gauges if you've got a calculator. On the 12th, I can see the line on 1.25, so I'm gonna say it's probably 1.30 on the low E. On the high E, it's directly on the line at 1.5. It's got nice action height from the factory. Okay, now let's look at the factory neck relief, the way the guitar was sent. And I'm going to move it towards my light so I can see.
So what are we looking at here? Jet guitars. What's the verdict? Are these legit or what?
Well, this one seems to be a quality instrument. I'm going to say the neck relief is at like 0.4 millimeters. Doing it this way. Yeah, it's about 0.4 millimeters, about a half a millimeter of relief. You know, there's very little string buzz as well with this setup. It's the more I look into it, the more I'm kind of impressed with the way the guitar is. Okay, if you know the channel, you know I cannot go into squirrel mode. I apologize, but you're going to have to sit there and watch me rocker these frets. And before you say anything, yes, I am going to pick this tool up. And I'm going to hop over the string. And I'm going to move it up to the next string. But as I'm doing it, I'm not cheating. I'm not going to take the tool and do this. One, because the string's on the guitar. Two, if you do this, it's not telling you anything. Because if you apply more pressure to the right or the left, it'll just ride on those two frets and you won't know that it's rocking. You have to take this tool and apply pressure to both sides to see if it rocks. You have to. If you're doing this and you're checking your frets, slow down, take your time, and apply pressure to both sides and move that fret along, move your tool along that fret. You will find a spot here or there in the center of the fret where there may be an issue. It does take a little longer, but do yourself a favor and start getting in a habit of checking. Taking the tool and moving it back and forth, applying pressure on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, because again, you can leave comments. Yes, I need a workbench. My workbench is in the basement. So I'm going to apply pressure like this. And then I'm going to move the tool up to the bottom of the E and the A, and then pick it up and do the exact same thing. This will also tell you how the frets feel. These frets feel very slick. This tool just wants to slide around on the top of these frets. I am extremely impressed with the frets on this guitar. Even if I find a high fret, I'm still impressed because of the attention to detail that they've done from the factory on the fret dressing on the ends.
You got a super chat from Mini Guitar Society.
Oh, thank you so much. That's what runs the channel, guys.
He commented, might as well pay for the class.
Thank you so much. And if you find if you've got a guitar and you check it, and you've just got one little spot that's high, you know, StewMac makes a tool called a fret kisser. It was on sale, 50% off. I suggest you get one while it's 50% off.
What size frets?
We can mic the frets when I'm done fret rockering. The frets don't feel super tall, and they also don't feel super skinny. Like some of the Fenders use very skinny frets. These frets have a little meat to them, but they're not super tall. I would call these just regular jumbo frets. Maybe it's my age, but the older I get, the more it hurts my fingers to do this.
You have I ordered a Fender neck recently and had the slightest rock between a few frets. Does that matter that much?
Well, your action height really plays a key to that. It depends. You know, if it's just barely rocking, you shouldn't have a problem. What you need to do is go the fret above it and bend the string up and see if the note chokes out. If the note is choking out due to the high fret, then you can use the tool that I just told you about, a fret kisser, and it will actually sand that fret between the two frets. It's designed to work between the frets, the good frets. But what you want to do is you want to take your tool, and when, like say this one's the one rocking, move it down a fret and check it, and then move it up one fret and check it. The reason I'm telling you to do that, if it rocks in this position and you move it down or up and it still rocks, you have a low fret. And the only way of fixing a low fret is filing and leveling all the frets to match. That's why when I do find a high fret, I'll always move the tool forward and backward to make sure it's not a low fret causing the issue. Because low frets are hard to fix because you have to redo all the frets to bring them down to that elevation of the low fret. But check it. It's more about whether or not it's choking off your notes. I have some guitars here that don't pass 100% and they play fine. We're just checking quality. That's what we're looking at. Some guitar companies, you know, their fret leveling and stuff is atrocious. It's horrible. Other guitar companies are pretty decent. And I found some guitar companies just nail it. and they consistently nail it. That doesn't mean that they're always perfect, but you get a good feel for what companies are doing good work and what you can expect when you purchase one. So far, this one's really doing well. I haven't even hit a spot that I would even remotely say it's been solid feeling. Sometimes I'll stop and go, but this one's been really good. It's so hard to have a YouTube channel and play guitars and then have to sell them, you know, when you find really, really good guitars, because you can't keep them all. And sometimes we find guitars and that you just love them so much and you try to keep them, but you got to move the product on. I have sold several guitars that really good guitars. Out of the box, they were good guitars. But I always give, if you buy a guitar from me, I try to give you a little something extra. I'll go through and do one of my very nice fret dressings on the guitar to give it that little something extra, since you're supporting the channel. This channel can't survive without you, the viewer. And if the viewer doesn't find it interesting and find what I'm doing valuable, no one watches. Oh, we got one right here. 23rd fret, right above the high E, and it just barely rocks, but it is there. And it stays there all the way above the G. Below the G, now that I consider that's a little bit more than just barely there. So there's about 1/4 of an inch of that fret that needs a little dressing right through here. I'd say that's really good. It almost made it 100%. So right below the B, up to about the center here, it's a little over 1/4 of an inch. Needs a little work. I've been playing the guitar now on and off for about 20 days, and I haven't had any fret issues with it. I'm just pointing it out. Okay, someone asked about the frets. Uh-oh.
You got another super chat
Oh, thank you so much.
from VAV413.
Well, my calibers need a battery, so we're going to have to old school this. Doing it the old school way, I'm going to say 2.5 millimeters wide. Let's get a height. And about 1.2 on the height. Need a battery. Apologize, guys. So let's loosen the strings. And again, the one thing that I'm feeling on this guitar, the tuning keys just don't. Yeah, the tuning keys I'm not a fan of. We will try to loosen that screw on the end and see if that makes a difference. But they feel sticky. Okay, at the very top, and we are old schooling this since my battery died. we have 42 millimeters at the nut. At the 12th, we have 51.1 millimeters. And at the 24th, we're just gonna say 55. I think it's just a fraction under 55. Getting our thickness at our first fret. Exactly 21 millimeters. Thickness at the 12th. .3, give or take. And our neck starts getting thick. The change is right here. So at about the 15th fret, it starts to barely flare out. All right. And since we did all that, I will have to tune it up.
Got a super chat from Annoying Critic.
Oh, thank you so much. Guys, the super chats is what keeps the channel going. It also funds the guitars that we give away here, just so everyone knows.
He wants to know if you've talked about the neck profile yet.
You know, I don't usually talk too much about the neck profiles because what I've seen is everyone has their own little way of, you know, between a C and a D. This neck, let me tighten these up a little bit. I don't have any gauges like where you get the Fender, you know, the StewMac gauges that'll say this is a 60s Fender or a 60s Gibson or a 50s Gibson. I don't really have a use for them. So let me just tighten this one up real quick. And the neck is not like this. It's more like that, if that makes sense. There's an abrupt angle change right here, and the back is smooth. So I'm gonna say that this would be more of a D shape because it's drastic change and then gradual. A C is more like a dome. That's how I kind of see it. If I'm wrong, then what I'm saying is there's more of an angle change right here, and then it's just a continuous radius across. It feels nice. When I feel this neck, it doesn't feel super thin. It doesn't feel chunky. This is a very nice feeling neck. When I picked the guitar up, it felt comfortable to me right out of the gate. I didn't feel it and go, wow, this thing is chunky or it's meaty on the bottom side, if that makes sense. I guess I should do some more research to see how you guys actually see necks, whether that's a D or a C. Yeah. As I turn these, the tuning keys just don't feel too good on this guitar. I don't like the way they feel, especially when they come up to pressure. When I'm real close to tune there. They just don't, it feels like I've really got to put pressure on it to get it to turn. Yeah, the A is awful. It is a floating bridge, so have to bring it back up to tune here. Move the bar a little bit. The A is the worst tuner. We'll try to loosen that and see what we get. Now they say you can loosen these. Let me loosen it and see what it does. The A is horrible. That's about a quarter turn. Now there's slop in the knob. Like I can feel the knob going like this, and then it engages. And as I turn it, let's loosen it. I'm going to say ixnay on the tuners. Maybe this is a bad one, but I'm going to say these tuners are not good. Yeah, all that did was introduce slop to the knob. It still has that hard feel when you turn it. We're just going to put a little pressure on it. All right. Let's turn on a little amplifier here. So basically it's a little Yamaha amp. It's kind of, like I said, that it was a little under 9K on the bridge. I like the way they sound.
Birdman said to tell you he might have duplicated your tone with his pop rock. LOL.
Tonight we're modeling. Okay, let's go down to clean. Wow, that's loud. No trickery here. So basically, I'm coming out of the headphone jack of the amp right to the interface. So let's check our volume. Let's see if we've got a nice even volume. So I'm going to say most of the volume is between maximum and 50%. The last 50% doesn't do too much. So once you hit 50%, let's check our tone, see how the tone works. The tone seems to be very linear. The volume is not. That's the tone all the way up. So let's take some of the edge off.
Jupe wants to know if there's going to be another live stream tonight.
Possibly. You know, guys, I played for years and I never used the tone control. If you have a tone control, use it. It's there. You'd be surprised how many extra sounds you can get. Is it something else in the circuit? Sure. It's something else in the circuit. And some purists say, I don't need anything, give me a volume. But if you have a tone, try using it a little bit. Here we've rolled our tone back, I'm going to say about 25%. Bring our tone all the way back up and let's go to our center position. Let's do the exact same thing and roll our tone, center position. Bring our tone all the way up and let's go to our neck position. Center position. Probably going to be a little bright, but here's our bridge position. That's a little hot. Let me turn that back. Roll our tone just a little bit. Center position. Neck position. Center position. And bridge. Okay, let's try some crunchy crunch. Center position. Neck position.
Did you comment on the pickup height?
Pickup height. I can already tell you they're probably not right. You can change your pickup height and get your volumes to be about right. I can already tell you the bridge pickup is way closer to the strings than the neck pickup. I am playing this guitar 100% stock out of the box. That's what this channel does. Now, we can fix some things, you know. Let me play this last little demo section on this dirt section. Now you can get some of that out. You can hear the volume there. Everything's all the way up. Both pickups. So if we take our screwdriver here.
You got a super chat from Blue Mox.
Ooh, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Like I said, the super chat, that's what funds the channel, guys. That's the only way that we can bring you these instruments is through the Superjets.
They had also asked if it can chug.
Don't really have my tube amp up and running, but I'm sure we can make it do something. We're going to bring this one up just a little bit. And that should help the sound difference. So now here's our bridge. Up to our neck. You can hear just that little bit of adjustment brought the neck volume up, and we lowered our bridge so it's a little tamer. Down to our bridge. Much better that way.
How do you determine the appropriate height of a pickup?
Really, if your pickup's a little too close to the strings, it'll get gainy. I don't like that. A lot of people want, all this high output on their pickup. It's better, in my opinion, to kind of set your pickup at a nice neutral position and get it to where you got the same volume. I could get this one closer. You're wanting the volume to be about the same.
Steve said pickup height 4.20 millimeters allegedly.
Yeah, that's like saying your perfect neck relief is 0.5 millimeters. Is it? Some people like a perfectly straight neck. That's why I'm saying the distance off the string, the closer you are to the string, it'll get bitier sounding.
Cheryl has to go.
Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, Cheryl. If you decrease the height off the string, it's going to get smoother sounding. Of course, you're going to get less volume, but it's going to be smoother. The closer it is to the string, the more bitey and the louder it's going to be. But the big thing that I try to do is I try to get the pickups as I switch it to be about the same volume. Now, if you're one of the guitarists that you play mainly rhythm in the neck position and you switch down to the bridge position to play lead, you can raise that pickup a little bit and make it act as a boost. If you're only playing that bridge in lead, sure, you can do that. But doing setups, I try to make it about the same. Now, if someone says they like a smooth sound, I try to keep the pickup off the string a little bit. These, I can show you how this one's set right here. That's how I have it set. Any closer than that, I think you start getting into, when you start digging into it, you get a lot of pick sound in your guitar. If you like that, bring them up. You're going to get more attack. But there's no rules, guys. What I tell you to do and how I do things, you may not like it. You might like in the center position, you might want to get more neck pickup sound. So changing the height of these pickups back and forth is going to change how the center position sounds. It's a blend between the two pickups. But keep in mind, when you add more neck, when you go to the neck position, it's going to be closer to the strings, if that makes sense. Everything you do will affect something else. You just got to play with it and find something that you like that'll also, if you're in a band, cut through the mix so you're heard in the mix. It can sound great in the room, but when you put it with another guitar player or a bass player or a keyboard player or a vocalist, you just get lost. So sometimes what you hear in the room might sound bad, but that sound might be what you need on stage with the band. I've tweaked my amp playing out live, and just, wow, I had a sound tonight. You get home, you plug everything back in, you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds horrible. Because certain frequencies will be absorbed by the drapery, you know, the carpet, or lack of drapery and carpet where you're playing. All these things, you know, they do make changes.
We need to announce this. Cole's daughter had her first baby yesterday.
What's this?
Cole's daughter had her first baby yesterday.
Oh, yeah, is Mickey in the chat?
I said Cole, dear.
Oh, okay.
Cole had?
Yeah, we just had a little one in our family too, sprung yesterday. It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cole's daughter had a little boy, though.
Oh, cool. Congratulations. Here's a... little ditty for you. So I gotta turn it up. Now this is the super channel on the amp, so let's see what it does. If I'm not playing too good tonight, guys, I have an injured finger. Do a quick tune. I definitely feel the tuning keys are the weak link in this guitar. It doesn't do too bad. The problem is my finger tonight. For the chuggers out there, sorry guys, I'm doing the best I can with my finger. All in all, I'd say it's a great guitar. I think its weak link is going to be the tuners. If you're looking for a super high output guitar, this probably isn't it. Okay, I don't think their market on this guitar was necessarily marketed to the super shredders. It's a 9.5 radius neck. I was unaware of that. I think that this is marketed more for like the Strat guys, okay? Someone that wants a Strat that feels the Strat's a little limited, okay? This guitar fills that void. It's a little easier on the tremolo. It feels better. I think it has a better sound. It doesn't sound like a Strat, but it looks like a Strat. If that makes any sense. I think it's the first step on like a super Strat before you get into like the really high gain like a Charvel. I like the guitar. The first time I brought it home, I liked the tones that it did. I like that it does well on the cleans. It does well on the crunch. And I think it does well on high gain as well. I don't have an issue with the high gain tone. Let's turn the amp back on here. That's very resonant. It's got a good sound. I like it. And then quick tunes. Again, tuning keys. It's got a good sound.
Super chat from Trucker Bob.
Oh, thank you so much, Trucker Bob. I think on this particular guitar, I'd say the tuning keys. That's something, if I was going to keep this guitar and play it, I would have to have better tuning keys. I would want something that I could reach down and very well there, but when you go up, it just doesn't feel smooth. I can't. A good tuning key should just be able to grab it and go. Maybe I would get used to it. You guys just don't understand how much pain I'm in doing that. I'm going to call that a wrap on the demo before I embarrass myself any worse. And if you're just tuning in, I damaged my fingers, so that's as good as this demo is going to get. My final thoughts on this guitar. This is a great instrument. Is it for everybody? If one guitar was for everybody, there'd be no choices. If you like the feel of a narrower radius, you know, a 10 or a 9.5, that's what this guitar has. With that being said, when I played the guitar, I thought it had a 12. It does not feel like the radius is a 9.5. When I bend it, I'm not fretting out. See, I already unplugged it. Let me plug it back in. It's not acting, well, again, it's the setup. It's got a great setup. If it makes you want to play it, in my opinion, that's a good guitar. And this guitar makes you want to, you want to play it. It makes you want to play it. So I'm going to say it's a good guitar. Is it worth the new asking price at $600? I think a lot of these companies, you know, Jet kind of hits the $1,000 to, you know, they have some $1,200 guitars. They also have some $200 guitars. The issue with Jet is familiarity. You know, in this country, Jet is new. Now, I know over in the UK, areas like that, Jet's been around for a little while. But they're just now really starting to get distributors here in the United States. It may take a little while for people to understand that, you know, the quality of Jet and its price points. This is a high quality guitar. The issue I have with it is the tuning keys. You know, $600 guitar, that's what it is now. Hopefully you can still find them for $550, but when I looked earlier today, the price did go to $599. And I hate when guitars continuously go up in price. It just seems to be that's the norm right now. The last 2 years, pricing has just continuously started to increase. Do I feel that the guitar is worth $600? Yes, I do. I think it has a good sound. It has an incredible finish on it. It's a roasted maple neck. The fretwork is worth it. As I said, the fretwork on this guitar, it's equivalent to a $1,200 guitar. I know many $1,200 guitars that aren't this good on the fretwork. We had one little fret on the 23rd fret right here between the B and the G. That was the only spot that we found that was a little wonky. And there was only really one spot that I would, right here, right at the G. The B, it just barely rocked. It's great fretwork. It's really good fretwork. And when I use the bar, the nut cut from the factory is good. The neck finishing is good. The routing is good. It's a sharp guitar. There's nothing on this guitar that says budget. If I compare other $600 instruments, let's say Ibanez, I'm sure I can find a spot or something on the body. This one's well done. It's astounding how well the routing is done. When I see a body that comes off of a CNC machine, and I see these crisp lines, and I see the crisp lines in the pockets, and it hasn't been over sanded, and the spray work and the finish work is done this well, and the edges, I don't feel any chatter marks in the body. Those are the things that when I look down at the guitar and I'm feeling it, that's what I'm touching. I'm touching the body, I'm touching the neck, and this just feels like a nice quality instrument. So if you bought one of these guitars and you've had a completely different experience with it, let's say you bought one and your tuning keys are good, I need you to go down there and post below. This channel's about product information. We try to do the best guitar reviews we can possibly do and give you the information that may not be listed on Reverb or at Jet, like all the neck specs and pickup readings that we gave you. You're the buyer. If you've purchased this, please leave us a comment. Did you get one and your body and your fit and finish is like this and you had problems with the tuners like I'm having? Or did you get one and yours is fantastic? You know, please comment below. That information helps other people that are thinking about purchasing this instrument. It's about product information. That's why we're here. I started this channel to offset all the infomercial channels out there that are just, everything's the greatest thing since sliced bread on Amazon. Sometimes you get a good guitar, sometimes you don't. This channel tells you the truth. In my opinion on this guitar, tuning keys. That's what it needs. If it had tuning keys on this guitar, I would have no issues whatsoever going out and playing live with it. Now here's the caveat. I don't think I would take this guitar out live right now because of the tuning keys. If I was playing a song in drop tuning, I want to be comfortable reaching up and grabbing that tuning key and dropping it and bringing it back up to tune. I just don't feel comfortable with these tuning keys. I think it needs tuning keys. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming and checking out this video. If you like reviews like this, please go to the main channel. We've reviewed over 60 guitars in the last 3 years. A lot of different guitar reviews, okay? We also have a lot of modification videos. How to clean, dress your frets, how to put pickups in your guitars, pots, tremolo modifications, how to set up Floyd Roses, pretty much anything and everything. And of course, we have a whole year of live streams where we just get together and chat. There's so much content on the channel. Please go check it out. I'm sure there's something there for everybody. Again, on the way out, guys, if you would, please hit the like button. And again, leave a comment. That really helps the YouTube AI push this review out for other people thinking about buying it. And thank you so much, guys. Again, leave some comments down below. We really need to get the comment section rocking here, and hit the like button. And everyone that left me a super chat, that's what funds the channel, okay? This guitar is bought by super chats. That's how we do it. This is also this month's guitar giveaway. The 29th, that Saturday, is the night Devastator will spin the wheel, and we'll see who wins this guitar. And next month's or January's guitar showed up. It's over there. We're going to unbox it here really soon. We're going to look at the next guitar that we have for a giveaway. So it's already here. But this one's this month. If you want to register to win this guitar, go over to Discord, go into the opt-in room for the guitar giveaway, and say, yes, I want in on the Jet JS-500 guitar giveaway. If your name is different on Discord than it is on YouTube, please say, I go by such and such on YouTube. And you also have to be publicly subscribed. I am requiring you to be a subscriber to win the guitar. I do not require you to be a subscriber to chat. Okay? I want you to come in and chat, and hopefully we'll earn your subscription. You'll come back each week. And you also notice if you're watching live, there was no commercials. So in 2 or 3 days, the commercials will come on once the live chat comes on replays. Again, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live review. Any comments on how I can make my live reviews better is welcome. Remember, this is a family-oriented channel. Keep your comments to where your family could read them. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you really soon.